Becoming a successful internet marketer can allow you to live the lifestyle of your dreams. While some consider the dream life to be one of luxury and bling, others consider mere financial freedom and simplicity to be the ideal. Today, we'll travel through the plains of the Midwest to Loveland, Colorado, to meet Joel Comm, whose success on the web has rewarded him with all the things he could ever want: family, faith, and freedom. Joel, thank you so much for allowing us to come into your home. We're excited to be here.
Well, it's my pleasure. Thanks for coming.
One of the things we wanted to find out about you is you've been online since the beginning, it seems like. 1995 is the year I keep hearing all about.
That's the year that I started my first website, but I was online since 1980 when I got my TRS-80 and got a modem and logged into local bulletin board services. So technically I've been online since 1980.
Even before the internet, Joel Comm always had an interest in computers, video games in particular. In the early 90s, he actually worked as an encyclopedia salesman. It was during this time he got the idea to review software and write reviews for a magazine, in exchange for free games. It wasn't long before Joel was introduced to the World Wide Web, and he soon turned his software reviews into a website called worldvillage.com. In addition to software information, Joel's site developed the first interactive online gaming experience, offering games such as chess, bridge, and backgammon.
We had about, at our peak, 600 or so people playing at the same time, which was pretty good. We're starting to get recognition, and we get a knock on the door. I get an email from the entertainment director at Yahoo, and there were ones that we didn't contact. They called us, and they were interested in partnering with us, whatever that meant. Went out to San Jose, met with them. They insulted us with a lowball figure, and I came back and I said I need X amount. And after back and forth several times, ended up selling out for over $1 million, which for Yahoo was a pittance. It was a cheap acquisition. But all in all, I had put about 50 hours of work into this project. That's all. So I was like, sounds like a deal to me. Let's get it done. Because they were acquiring stuff for 8 figures over and over again. But I didn't want to stretch it out. Didn't want to face maybe them saying no. So I was happy we took the money. And so if you go to Yahoo to this day and sit down at the game table, there's the little avatars you can select. I don't know if you've ever done that. One of them is a guy with glasses and a goatee.
Joel, like many others, enjoyed huge profits during the dot-com boom. By developing news sites and through affiliate commissions, Joel saw enormous earnings between 1997 and 2000. But then, the dot-com era took a huge hit.
Then the bubble burst. I ended up laying off everybody, including myself.
Although many of Joel's websites remained active, he struggled financially between 2000 and 2004. But at this time, Joel discovered AdSense, Google's ad-serving program that allowed website owners to earn money by enabling advertisements on their sites.
In April of 2004, I was in a conference room, a mastermind group, and the guy next to me had his AdSense report open, and I looked over and I saw that he was making $200 a day or so. I was like, what? And he's like, oh yeah. So that day, I started implementing AdSense on my sites again, only this time I started testing the various ad sizes, the blocks. I started testing the color schemes. I started testing the placement on the pages. And that day, my revenue went from like $23 the day before to $80 that day. And I thought, okay, And I tested some more. And before you know it, I'm at 3 figures. Now I'm at 200. Now I'm at 300. Now I'm hitting 400 and 500 a day. And, I'm out of the red. It's like, okay, it wasn't even halfway through the year and we're in the money again. This is passive income for the content that I already had on the sites. And through that, and maybe the encouragement of some friends, I decided, well, I'll put this in an ebook. Maybe I'll sell a handful of copies.
Joel sold more than a handful. Within the first week, he actually sold over $10,000 in copies of his ebook, What Google Never Told You About Making Money with AdSense. This book would go on to become a New York Times bestseller and be translated into many different languages. Although he was unaware of it, Joel now had gained recognition among other legendary marketers. He first noticed his newfound celebrity status when he attended a marketing conference.
I show up at this thing, and the night before it's set to start, I'm walking into the hotel, and there's the bar over there. And I'm walking towards the bar, see who's there, and this guy raises his hand and waves me over. I'm like, who are you waving to? And he's waving to me. It's Armin Morin. And he knows who I am. And I'm like, really? And I go, hey, Joel, how you doing? We start talking. And there's Dr. Mike, and there's Gary Ambrose, or some of the guys, and these guys, they know who I am. They recognize my picture. What I didn't know is that I was already a bit of a mini celebrity in that niche, and I had no idea. It was really surprising to me, and people were like whispering as I went by, that's Joel Comm. I'm like, what? And it was really a life-changing experience for me to see the perception of people and the respect that I had for coming out of nowhere, I guess, with this book.
Like many legendary marketers, his fame and notoriety brought opportunity. He was approached by Eric Holmland to create instant AdSense templates in 2006. Was it a success? It grossed over $300,000 in just 1 week.
And people ate it up. And it's at that point that we realized the mistakes we made in that launch. Mark Joyner says the great formula is to find a thirsty crowd, sell them a glass of water, and then sell them a second glass. We didn't have a second glass. So when we ramped up for Instant AdSense Templates 2 in October '06, not only do we have a second glass, an upsell, which doubled the size of their templates if they purchased the upsell at half the price. It was a great upsell, converted like 60%. But we also offered a continuity program, monthly templates, so that people who wanted fresh content each month could get it. And we did $1 million in 5 days on that launch. At the end of '06, I remember talking to Eric and saying, so what are we going to do next? And he's like, well, I'd kind of like to get into video. So I put that away in the back of my mind. And just before we moved to Colorado, it must have been in January, I was in the shower, which is, interestingly enough, where some of my best ideas come from. I'm not sure what it is. I don't know if it's the purification process or maybe your idol. The water's just stimulating your brain or something. And I thought, I know somebody had talked about the idea of doing a reality show online before in internet marketing, but nobody had done anything. What if we combine the popularity of video online, the rise of YouTube and Google Video, etc., with this pop culture phenomenon of reality TV? My name is Joel Comm, and I've made millions of dollars on the internet.
The next Internet Millionaire was a web-based TV show where 12 contestants received an expense-paid trip to learn from the masters of marketing.
We had over 300 total that auditioned on YouTube, and we picked our contestants and brought them here to Colorado, and it was the most amazing 2 weeks.
On the show, the contestants were competing with one another for cash, prizes, and a joint venture opportunity with Joel Comm.
I want you to tell me why you should be the one to stay in the competition.
To help educate his contestants, Joel brought in some of the biggest names in internet marketing.
It was just this parade of superstars in internet marketing, and they came as a favor to me, which was just incredible, and they came to teach. There was no selling. They spoke for 2 hours to our contestants, gave them some of their best stuff, and of course you only saw in the show 3 or 4 minutes of the teaching. But that's what the Secret Classroom, the product that we have, secretclassroom.com, is all about. It's all the teaching.
In the Secret Classroom, the 12 contestants sat and listened to the world's top online wealth-building experts explain how to become internet millionaires.
I think the Secret Classroom really is the most comprehensive education. And it was able to be so because we got 12 different teachers, none of them overlapping. Mark Joyner talking about building a business, Armin talking about branding, Jeff Walker, product launch formula, Marlon Sanders talking about creating information products, Mike Koenig's on video, Brad Fallon on e-commerce, and the list goes on. Ray Edwards on copywriting, Dave Taylor on Web 2.0, all different, and they all came to teach for 2 hours with no selling. So the motives for the speakers to be there was just to deliver the best content they could. So that it's a 12 DVD set and comes with a workbook. It's at secretclassroom.com.
With successes such as the AdSense Code, the Next Internet Millionaire, and the Secret Classroom, Joel has been able to build a business out of internet marketing. The place that he chose to build it? Loveland, Colorado. The name of the company? Info Media.
So this is my space. It's a little cluttered, as any good entrepreneur's space would be. This is the bright smiling face at our front desk, Kelly. But I hung this bell, and I'm the only one that rings it, and I only ring it when something significant happens. Artists buy this, right, so they can draw. And I bought it, and my wife's like, "You don't draw, why'd you buy it?" I'm like, "Because I can do this." Woo! You know, this is Chris Harper, video dude extraordinaire. And my first computer was a TRS-80, Model 1, the original, with 4K of RAM. I plugged it in, it boots like that. Boop, there it is. I mean, it's not, you can't do anything with it, but it's cool. Look at that, I brought cameras. Greg is my personal assistant, and our help desk guy does all the support. We're getting slammed? Is it good?
Oh, good.
Yeah, that's what I want to hear. And he's a New York Yankees fan, so. This is Sarah Jane.
Hello.
She is a lost addict.
I am now.
Thanks to me, I gave her a lost transfusion, and now she's addicted.
I can't help myself.
This is Tim Prince, and this is Joel Ownby. They are masterminding our first 9-figure business. But we can't tell you anything about it yet. We'd have to kill you. This is Dan Nickerson. He is my creative guy. Is it left brain or right brain that's creative? Tootsie Pop? You'll notice which is missing from the grape.
Grape.
Yeah, grape's missing. Kelly pulls out the grapes for me, puts them in my drawer.
Now with a large full-time staff and outsourcing to several subcontractors throughout the globe, Joel believes that expanding and delegating is key to successfully building his business. With the most recent addition to his company, Joel finds himself in a fortunate position he has never been before.
Then we've got 8, soon to be 9, in-house. And with the addition of number 9, he's actually becoming president of my company, which means I'm CEO. It means he runs the business. Oh, be still my heart. That means anybody got a problem, a question, they go to him. And then if he needs to bring it to me. I think for the first time in 13 years, I'm getting a taste of what it's going to be like to own a business instead of have it own me. And that doesn't mean I'm not going to work, because I love what I do. But it means I'll be freed up to do more of what I like to do and what I'm good at doing. And when that happens, your business grows even more.
And though it hasn't always been a smooth road, it's one that Joel has managed to travel within a few short years. So why did he choose Loveland as the place to grow this business?
This is why I'm here, though. I lived on the plains for 43 years. I'm 43 now. And we looked around, and February of 07, we moved out here, and we picked Loveland. It's not a crowded community, population about 55,000, slower pace. And like I said, we got this.
The risks that Joel has taken in his life are paying huge dividends. Success in internet marketing has allowed Joel to establish a lifestyle of peace and comfort. Just minutes away from his office, Joel resides in a beautiful home with gorgeous views of the Rocky Mountains.
Joel, how are you?
Hey guys, this is Socrates.
Socrates.
He'll bite your head off. Come on in. This is my home office. Here's my workstation. I just got this. This is as big as I can get for a monitor here, 30-inch Dell. So anyway, when I'm not at the office, my wife would say I live right here. Julie Newmar, you give me strange stirrings in my utility belt, Catwoman. That was Batman saying that, not me. Happily married. One of the Sharper Image iJoy chairs.
We are staying right here. Joel can talk.
I'll do the
that
interview
chair.
from here.
I'm going to sit right here.
This was something my wife saw in a magazine. They put Scrabble tiles in there, and we're regularly putting words out, you know, especially when visitors come. But you never know what's going to show up down there. And it's like possessions. We have to hold on to them loosely because, you know, I've experienced before. You know, you come into wealth and riches, and then you lose it. Stuff happens, and you know, I can't take it with me when I go,
Sure.
right? So ultimately, it's not really mine. And guests come to really relax and chill out, especially on warmer days or warm nights. On a warm night, clear, you go stars, and it's really pretty dark out here. There's not a lot of overflow on the city lights, and you really get a great view. It's like some people are wine aficionados. I'm a software connoisseur. This is a copy of Microsoft Windows version 1.03 from 1984. So this is one of the first text adventure games. A company called Infocom. No graphics. It was all words. You know, The Sims is huge now. This is the first Sim City.
Oh my gosh.
Way back. It was the 1989 Game of the Year. And here's one of Bill Gates' biggest failures, most hyped failures, Microsoft Bob. They hyped this. I remember going to the Consumer Electronics Show where they were promoting this, handing out Bob buttons and stickers, and they had big Bob displays. And Bill Gates came and talked about Bob, and Bob was a major flop. That's why you're like, what's Bob? Nobody
Never
heard of
Bob.
it.
You want to see what Joel really does during the day? Come on in.
Thing is, there's enough entertainment options in this house, and we have to find a balance a lot of times because it's easy to just always be entertained.
Sure.
And so we do other things.
To Joel, quality of life is important. To him, it's not about being flashy, but rather enjoying his family and his newfound financial security.
It is good to be out of debt and have cars paid for, you know. It's nice to not worry each month about bills. It's nice to be able to go and go to the spa, you know, and get a massage or be pampered. It's good to be able to walk into Best Buy and say, I could get that, or that, but you know, I don't need it, so I'm not going to. But I could if I wanted to, and I love to travel. My staff, they're working, they're taking care of things. They're building my business. It's allowing me to live the dream of generating passive income and pouring into other people's lives at the same time.
With so many successes under his belt, Joel's mission at this point in his life is crystal clear. He wants everyone watching to know that they too can make it as an internet marketer. The key is finding out what they're truly passionate about.
You got to define your passions, and one thing I tell people to do is to write down on a piece of paper what they're passionate about, what they're knowledgeable about, what special training and skills they have. And from that, you can often discern, you know, let me put the one and one together here and figure out what my subject matter is. And if you need some help, go to a friend or family member that knows you, loves you, and trusts you, and that you trust, and say, what am I good at? If you were to pick a career for me, a subject for me, what would it be? And get clarity and you know, get defined. And then, I mean, it's like, don't go, okay, what's the highest paying keyword? I'm going to build a site about that. Now we got 1,000 mesothelioma sites out there. It's not how to do it, because you might make a little bit of money doing that. And maybe your passion is just building money-making sites. Hey, okay, maybe that works. But if you don't care about the site and the content, eventually it's going to show. I've got some sites like that. that I built, and they were making money, and my heart wasn't in it. So what you're doing is you're going after a quick hit rather than building a business. You got to look at it from building a business standpoint. They say for brick and mortar businesses, 2 years before you can see any kind of profitability. Well, the good news about the internet is it doesn't have to be nearly that long. You can turn profitable much faster. But realize that you're still building a business, and this is a commitment, and you're going to work this. It's not a big, easy button. That works occasionally, infrequently. And that mindset is not a success mindset. It's not building upon success for where you want to go in life. So I would start there.
Once you've taken the first steps, Joel suggests that you should learn how to drive as much traffic to your website as you possibly can.
Never stop creating new content. You can't, some people will write me and say, I put up a blog and I put up a couple articles, and why aren't I making any money? You have to keep writing. Make it episodic. Go to social networking sites and tell people what you're doing. Drive traffic to there. There's so many ways to drive free traffic. And using the 2.0 sites is really a great way. Well, Facebook is a great way. You can, you go and find groups that are related to what you're doing. So let's say you've got a site about Britney Spears, God forbid. Find the I Love Britney groups on Facebook, join it, and make a post. Tell, hey, I just got a great new picture of Britney. It's on my blog. I'm doing a poll. Do you think Britney should have her kids or not? They send them to your blog to go vote. It's free. And there's so many groups, so much opportunity. Build relationships with people. Develop friendships. Make a video. Stick it on YouTube. You know, on YouTube, you can put a link to your site, a live link. Most people don't know this. In your description, put http://www.whatevermysiteis.com followed by your description. That will appear as a blue hyperlink. Drive people back to your site. Use Twitter. Twitter is a very simple 2.0 site that works on the premise of, here's what I'm doing now. People who are following me would then see that. Well, let's say I want to put a link. New blog entry on my experience at Qdoba. Link. Those who are following me, if they're interested, they're going to click that link. They're going to be at my blog. Free traffic.
One of the more popular ways to drive traffic is by blogging. Recently, Joel has become a diligent blogger to provide content to a growing audience.
It's a great way to communicate, to the masses in a very personal way. And sometimes I use it for marketing. Other times I just write about whatever I want to write about. Today I blogged about what games I'm playing. It's fun to introduce people to some other things that you're doing. And sometimes you could have a real impact, through your blogging as well.
Other people obviously want to make money on it as well. Can that be done? How can it be done?
Well, what you do is you go to Target and you say, where do I buy the easy button? And it's about this big, and you just install it, and there is no easy way. People want a shortcut. You have to pick a niche that is really of interest to you. Don't just blog about anything. Make it personal, but provide content. I feel I do this a lot on my blog, talk about my customer service experiences. I don't know why. I just really get tweaked when people don't see the customer, and when I see them screwing up, especially if it's not their business and somebody's paying them to run the business. And that resonates with people because they can relate. On the blog about American Furniture Warehouse, I have people who found that say, yeah, I had a bad experience with them too. It's great to see I'm not the only one, and it's good to see that they made it right, et cetera. But you have to find something that you're passionate about to blog about. Make sure your blog is nicely designed. And then blog regularly. Learn all you can about using social networking sites, Facebook, YouTube, MySpace, Twitter, to get traffic. If you're an authority in something, then there's people who are going to want to hear what you have to say. And then if you want to spend money, there's always advertising, either using AdWords or Overture or in newsletters. There's joint ventures, which are my favorite way, to go to conferences, meet people who there's a synergy with, and find a way to work with them. That's the big secret. It's all about people. Even though we're talking ones and zeros and we're at our computers by ourselves, it still comes down to relationships.
And relationships are an important part of business for Joel. Not just networking for the sake of business, but truly wanting to help others.
Well, the big mistake that people make is they meet me and the first thing they do is whip out their card and tell me about their great product. I don't even know who you are, and you're not indicating any interest in who I am. Where's the connection? And when that happens, I'm like, great, thanks, nice to meet you. I'll take a look at it, and maybe I will, maybe I won't, depending on how interesting it is. But that's not relationship. That's how. Oh, there's a guy who has a mailing list. How can I use him to further my goals? I even get emails. We have a humor book. We print out, the funny things we get from people. In the last week, I got 2 emails. One of them was, hey, Joel, I know you're making a lot of money with AdSense. Do me a really big favor and use my publisher ID for a day. Basically, hand over your AdSense earnings for a day. Just because no. And then another one said, I really want to be a success online. I found out Armin Morin is having a big product launch for his product. It's coming up in a week or later this week. And it would really help me be a success if you promoted it with my affiliate link, their link. So here, on my dime, send an email to my people promoting a product and direct all the commissions to this person. What? What planet are you from? I mean, I'm totally into being philanthropic and to giving back, but it's going to be on my terms of who I decide to give. That's just begging. Get to know people. Connect with them. Say, hey, I saw, Joel, I saw your show. I really liked what you did with this, that, or the other. I'm into video myself and thought about doing this. And how can I help you? When you make it about the other person, which I still do. I don't go and say, hey, I've got a product. I mean, no matter who I'm talking to, I want to know what they're working on and how what I do can complement what they do. It's people. It's got to start there.
Joel believes that attending internet marketing conferences are an essential part of building relationships. Conferences are where many business deals and opportunities are created.
I write about this in my emails, and you lose emphasis in emails. You try to explain how important this is. It's this life-changing experience, and people are like, yeah, but it's $500 to travel, and it's $2,000 to get in this conference. And I understand. I've been there before. I've been where I've got $1.78 in my checking account. I've been, charging credit cards for groceries because we don't have the money. I understand it. But if you want to succeed and you want to make it, you have got to invest in yourself. And that is a small investment. Now that I see in perspective the money spent to go to a conference with the return that you can get there, that's nothing. It is life-changing for so many people, and I see it again and again and again. So that is the big thing. Go to a conference.
Any conferences you recommend?
Big seminars, always great. Armin does a classy, top-notch seminar. Yonex Underground, always great. Totally different. Somebody asked me what the difference was between them, and this just came to me. Armin's is like the Cadillac of conferences, of internet marketing conferences. Very polished, very elegant. Yonex is like a Ferrari. It's made, well, it is, and that's his personality. It's made to be more fun, looser feel, and they're both great at what they do. I wouldn't ask either one of them to change. And then there's some second-tier conferences, and I say second-tier not because the value you would get there, but because they're smaller venues. Ken MacArthur's JV Alert Live is a great conference. In fact, I'm speaking at that next month, just a few weeks. I don't know what I'm talking about yet, but if you can go, it's in Florida, in Orlando, February 8th through 10th. I've got a link for you if you want to go. It's going to be smaller, but there's going to be Jamie is speaking for the first time. She's going to be on the platform, and there's going to be 7 contestants there. We're doing a reunion and a panel where people will be able to ask us about the show. So it's going to be a lot of fun. So Ken MacArthur's JV Alert Live is kind of the best in the second tier. Mike Filsame's Internet Marketing Main Event is a great seminar as well. But just go. You got to bite the bullet, say, you know what? The longer I wait to network with other people in this, the longer I'm going to continue in my JOB and having the life that I currently have. And if you're happy with that, great. But if you want something more, this is where you get it.
Joel has made it to the top. He lives a peaceful life with his family, doing what he wants, being who he wants to be.
I have a really strong faith in God. And I think it's my faith that carries me through a lot of situations where there would be fear. It's knowing who I am and how much I'm loved, regardless of any other circumstances. Whether or not there's approval by other people out there or not, ultimately doesn't matter. You know, I don't live to seek the approval of men. And I think that's freeing, because then I can be more myself, be true to myself, do what I love to do without ultimately having that fear of whether or not people approve. I think as long as I'm being honest, ethical, really trying to help people and make a difference.
The future looks bright for Joel Comm. He's an innovative man with many ideas. While dedication to his family is a main focus, Joel also wants to help others realize their dreams.
You know, it's easy to be common, right? We don't have to do much to be common, but I think that everybody has that made in God image within them, that we have special gifts, talents, abilities, that we are put together in a unique way that nobody else is. And if we're not using those gifts and talents to dream big, then we're missing out on something. You know, we're just going through the motions. And so I like to do things that other people haven't done before. You know, the game site. First New York Times bestseller that I know of in internet marketing. The first competitive reality show. I've got a book coming out in the summer, which those who see this sooner, it's not out yet, and those who've seen it after, it's already out. It's called Click Here to Order, Stories of the World's Most Successful Internet Marketers. And it's my goal to get that into the hands of as many people as possible, those that are interested in the stories. And what I'm hoping it does is introduces this world to the market that doesn't yet know. You know, people hear about all the successes with Google and Amazon and eBay, and they think of the internet and business online, they think of that. But there's guys like me, you know, who are making good money, and if I can do it, others can do it. And hopefully it'll be inspiration to people. I just hope that that somebody is inspired to see that, you know, hey, Joel's just a regular guy, and if he could do this, I could do this. And that they would be then driven to commit to their plan and follow, you know, to reach their goals. That would make it all worthwhile.